Scotty had qualified in the number 5 spot at a 482, ran 4.853 to beat TJ Jr. His second round opponent, Pat Austin, had run an identical elapsed time in winning his first round race with the Castrol Syntec car. Scotty got the lane choice based on mile an hour and took the win.
Yeah, good deal. I think mid 80s will, should win this thing. Just got to get from A to B, and hopefully, if it goes from A to B and the driver can do his job. I don't think I did that time, but we'll try next time.
Scotty was really late off the line. Fortunate for him that his opponent smoked the tires. So Kenny Bernstein and Scott Coletta in the final 4. On the other side of the ladder, number 2 qualifier Don Prudhomme had hoped to be able to ride on the coattails of his win 2 weeks ago at Houston, but his opponent in the first round was the number 15 qualifier Rochelle Splatt, the newest and last member of the Slick 5300 mile-an-hour club. She set that time at Houston. In pre-race activities here today, Don Prudhomme, on his final strike tour, his last year as a driver, had a street named for him here at Gainesville Raceway, but none of it paid off in the first round. He lost to Rochelle Splatt, but he said this.
That's drag racing. I've taken a many lumps all last year and the year before, so, it's disappointing, but we'll come back.
Don Prudhomme losing in round number 1 to Rochelle Splatt's off-pace 5:14, but that doesn't matter because she advanced into the second round, where her opponent would be the winner of the first round race between Connie Coletta and Mike Dunn. Connie had qualified in the number 7 spot with a 488 and nearly matched that as the American International Airways team car had a 489 in the big win over Dunn. Then in round number 2, it was Rochelle Splatt in the far lane at the wheel of the Luxor Casino Hotel car against Connie Coletta. All she could do was watch.
You got into the 480s where you need to be.
Yes, we've been consistent. This is the 3rd time or 4th time we've run 482. So it's 489, but it's on the high side. But we'll see what happens in the next round.
See you in the final 4.
Oh, thank you.
As you've already noted, the 2 Colettas are on opposite sides of the ladder. They could meet in the championship round. Number 3 qualifier Rance McDaniel was looking strong with a fine 481 qualifying time, but Bobby Baldwin at the wheel of Chris Garamassini's car pulled off the upset in the first round. It was Shelly Anderson, the winner at Pomona, up against the reigning Winston champ Eddie Hill. Hill's problems continue, and Anderson had moved into round number 2 to race Baldwin. Shelly had qualified well at a 489. Baldwin had qualified with a 494, but here in the round number 2 racing, it didn't matter. Shelly smoked the tires. Baldwin smoked out one of the Golden Greeks motors, but still was the winner.
Bobby Baldwin, you heard it obviously. Can you fix it? You and the Greek run pretty lean.
I think we can fix it. We'll have to borrow a couple of parts, but I think we can get it back together. If we
hope you do.
Let's see what Grandpa wants to do.
Bobby Baldwin referring to Grandpa Chris Garamassini's. He is his son-in-law. So it'll be Connie Coletta against Bobby Baldwin. Connie having the lane choice. Son Scott is on the other side of the ladder, and it is Kenny Bernstein and Scott Coletta battling it out, and once again, a Coletta holds the choice of lane. A giant crowd in the grandstands here at Gainesville Raceway, and there's a huge mass of people when Kenny Bernstein signs autographs. We'll be right back with the final 4 in Top Fuel. Launching hard off the starting line, a fine 489 at 293 miles an hour. Connie has shown incredible consistency throughout this day. He had 480s in both the first and second round, and now matches them with another 480 here in the semis. This is son Scott Coletta, the quickest and fastest drag racer of all time, at the wheel of the team American International Airways car. His opponent, the Budweiser King, Kenny Bernstein, would like to get any kind of break at all. Remember, he has had nothing but problems. 2 weeks ago, he failed to qualify. He made it on the last attempt here, and every run since that time, he's been hurting motors. Let's go to Steve.
Well, I guess you just dial in another 489, huh?
It's just only a bracket car, isn't it?
No oil out of it. It's got more.
It's got more.
If the air cools off and the track gets a little better, you can maybe lean on it a bit.
I hope so. We were going to do it this time, and we figured, well, let's just not do something dumb. We'll just take it and save it for the last round.
I don't have to ask you who you want to race in the last round.
No doubt about it. We know there'll be one Coletta in the final. We'll find out here in a few minutes who's going to, maybe there's 2.
Let's find out right now, Dave.
Steve, that was Connie's third consecutive 489 during eliminations today. Dick LaHaye checking over the engine on Scott Coletta's car. He has tuned this young man to not only the quickest elapsed time in history, a new national record set 2 weeks ago at 472, as Connie looks on intently from the far end of the track. Dale Armstrong, the crew chief for Kenny Bernstein, as we look on with the Budweiser in-car camera, looking down that long nose piece on Bernstein's top-fueled dragster. Problems again for Bernstein, and Connie's happy.
It's a Coletta clash in the final round.
But Steve, take a look. It is a big fire for Bernstein. The tire finally giving way after the heat from the exploding engine got the rubber so hot, literally it blew that tire. Bernstein has got the car under control. It is scraping itself to a stop on the little pads that are welded to the bottom of the frame rails to prevent damage to the frame. Kenny kept the car straight in his lane and brought it to a stop just as the safety safari pulled up. Watch in replay. Look in the far side of the racetrack. You can see the oil smoke coming out the back of Bernstein's car. Then a flash of flame or two out of the headers, and then it torched off. The ball of flame produced such an intense heat that it literally melted the rubber in the tire on the right-hand side. Look from another angle in replay. Watch as Bernstein struggled to maintain control of the car. The tire let go. It sort of listed over to the side, but he was able to get it safely stopped.
Kenny, this is really not the way you want to race, knowing you have to blow them up.
No, not really, and we're not doing it intentionally at all. I mean, Dale's trying to catch up with it. We're just off on the fuel system, like I've said since day one, since we got here, and we're not trying to do this by any means. I want everybody to understand that. Certainly Budweiser, Quaker State, and Mac Tools by all means, and all the fans. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do every round, and that's the name of the game. We want to win a race, and that's what we're here for.
Good job keeping it right side up.
Well, it kept straight that time. It was easy. Thanks.
So Kenny Bernstein has to look forward to yet another day for Scott Coletta. He has to look forward to the distinction of racing his dad in the final round. On that run, Scott ran a 479 and a new national record, 305.
You should have seen your dad down here. How about that national record, 305?
Oh, man, I tell you what, Dicko, he's just incredible. If he was here right now, I'd kiss him.
He begged right into the camera for you to give him a chance in the final.
Who, the old man?
Yeah.
What do you think? Not a chance.
Cuts no slack. He's a Coletta, right?
Hey, he comes out the winner either way. He gets the check.
Could be fun.
Steve, it will be fun. We'll be right back. Gatornationals here at Gainesville Raceway. If you have been a follower of Pro Stock Racing on the Winston Championship Trail thus far this season, and who hasn't, you know the story has been the Oldsmobiles of the Johnson family and the two Dodges. But here at Gainesville, things have changed just a bit. One of the Johnsons did not qualify well, and as a result, we have a new driver breaking into the top four in Pro Stock. It is Jim Yates and his Dynamax Pontiac Firebird. Right now, let's take a look at the Winston point standings as Pro Stockers came to Gainesville. Warren Johnson, the reigning Winston champ, held a lead of only 200 points over Scott Jeffrey on. Darrell Alderman followed in third. Then Kurt Johnson and Jim Yates rounded out the top five after 3 of 18 events for the 94 season. In round number 1, Kurt Johnson, who had only been able to qualify number 8, was up against Ricky Smith at the wheel of the Slick 50 Pontiac. And guess what happened? Kurt Johnson stumbled. He stubbed his toe in this first round race. Kurt had qualified number 8. That gave him the lane choice over the number 9 qualifier, Ricky Smith. Kurt selected the lane nearest the camera, but both drivers had terrible lights. The only thing about it was, in the side-by-side matchup, Ricky Smith was a whole lot quicker off the line.
Kurt, you both ran at 23, but that wasn't your usual kind of reaction time. A little off there.
Yeah, we've been messing around with this new air shifter and stuff in the car, and I really haven't been comfortable all weekend. We qualified in a bad spot. We qualified number 8, and, you know, we're looking at racing Dad's second round. It's just been one of them bummer weekends.
So Kurt Johnson's points earning at the Gatornationals was over after round number 1. So as Ricky Smith advanced to round number 2, he thought he was seeing an awful lot of Johnsons, and he was, because his opponent in the second round was number 1 qualifier Warren Johnson. In qualifying, WJ had been the only car in the 7.0s running a 7.08 second elapsed time. He beat Mark Osborne in the first round race.